We boarded the Holland America Westerdam on Saturday afternoon, August 27th. At 5 o'clock, we set sail, heading toward Alaska. Alaska is our largest state, with an area equal to 20% of the area of the lower 48 states. Yet, it has a population total of only 700,000 people, with a population density of 1 square mile per person, versus 1 square mile for 87 people in the lower states. Although we're heading to Alaska, we will only see the southern western coast, sort of the tail of the dog. The 4 green dots on the map represent the 3 villages we will visit and Seattle. The big mass to the northwest is the rest of Alaska. A map of our itinerary shows that our trip will first visit Juneau. The next day we will cruise into Glacier National Park. Next we will visit Sitka, then Ketchikan and Victoria, British Columbia, before returning to Seattle. Days at sea are passed with bingo, bridge, massages, and trivia quizzes.
So you have the names already. Your job is to take those 5 names and put them in order from, if everyone was alive today, who is the oldest, who is the youngest. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll give you 1 point for each name in the right spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 would be basically who was born first, who was born earliest. 2, who was born second, third. You get my point. The names are these. Tastes distinguished by the tongue.
Our travel agent, Peacock Travel, treated us to lunch in the Pinnacle Grill, an upscale restaurant. There we had good food and some animated discussions. Each evening, there was a string quartet playing just outside the dining area. It was a nice place to meet before going in to dinner. And after dinner, a trip to the piano bar was always fun.
You've got those banjos strumming, we're plucking out the tune to beat the band. The whole plantation's humming, 'cause you put Dixie back to Dixie land. You make our cotton easy to drink. Hey, you give my whole mandula a kick.
On Monday morning, we arrived in Juneau, Alaska, a total distance of 920 miles from Seattle. Juneau is the capital of Alaska. It has a population of only 32,000 people, the largest employers being the federal, state, and local government. Tourism attracts about 1 million people each year in the summer months, and the fishing industry is still viable, if not as large as it was in the past. The town map shows the 3 cities we will visit in Alaska. The Google photo demonstrates why these 3 cities are not accessible by road, only by plane or boat, as they are surrounded by mountains, and even if a road could be built, the ability to keep it plowed would be impossible. Excursions in Alaska capitalize on the beautiful and unique environment, the lack of civilization, and the wildlife that exists. In Juneau, our group took 2 excursions. One group went on a rafting trip down a river, culminating into the Mendenhall Glacier. Mike and Jake went on a photo tour, first by boat and then by land. They spotted orca whales in the water and soon were surrounded by them. Once off the boat, Mike and Jake went looking for bears. Jake found one. Next, he found a strange animal, a sloth, some nice waterfalls, and then a bald eagle. And finally, there was a visit to the Mendenhall Glacier. After their raft trip, the rafters took a tram to a mountaintop that revealed the town of Juneau below and the ships in the harbor. On Tuesday, we visited Glacier National Park to view the Hubbard Glacier. As we approached the glacier, we all went to the crow's nest at the front of the ship to view it. We approached the glacier from the starboard side first. Then, as we got closer, the captain said he would turn the ship so the port side would have a look. As our cabin was on the port side, we returned to it and enjoyed the viewing of the glacier with pizza and cookies.
Boy, that was a terrible cookie.
Oh, I think the cookies are good.
Yeah.
It's a shame you would have liked it.
They don't have
What
lunch
is chicken
over there.
korma? Indian food. Oh, Indian food?
Mm-hmm. Spicy chicken and a cream sauce. It wasn't that spicy.
Oh, that's what I do, but it wasn't like that.
There was like a gigantic Indian food.
The height of the Hubbard Glacier is roughly 350 to 400 feet. That's ice coming out of the water, not to mention the ice below. On Wednesday, we went to Sitka. All 8 of us tended to the town dock. Sitka has a population of roughly 9,000. It is only accessible by boat or plane, but it does have a history. Sitka was the site of the ceremony in which the Russian flag was lowered and the United States flag raised after Alaska was purchased by the United States in 1867. Sitka served as the capital of the Alaska Territory until 1906. Richard and Susan toured the city and its museums. Pretty fancy stuff for a town in Nowheresville. Irene, Susan, and I took a wildlife search. We boarded a large boat with seats and windows all around. The upper deck contained a wheelhouse and an observation area around the perimeter of the ship. a lookout first looked for humpback whales. When he spotted one, we would chase it, hoping to see it surface.
I'll come alongside him here, we'll parallel him, and kind of get a look from this side, then I'll try to swing back there behind him so when he flips we can maybe catch that tail.
We learned something about humpback whales on this trip. They are huge mammals. Average length 40.5 feet for males, 42 feet for females. Weight 25 to 40 tons. The whale dives to the bottom and consumes krill and other sea life. Then it returns to sea level and prepares to dive again. Seeing the entire fluke come out of the water is our goal.
Whoa, there it is.
Well, folks, I don't think it gets much better than that. It's a pretty close view of that large fluke there, so hopefully you enjoyed that. So he's going to go down for probably another...
We succeeded. Score 1 fluke. The search continues.
He is up at 11 again. We'll try to get up there closer and hopefully he'll throw that fluke. Now this one looks like he's definitely traveling here.
These whales only stay in Alaska in the spring and summer. Then they head for warmer weather, going to places like Hawaii to mate. The design of the fluke is like a fingerprint. No two whales have the same pattern. It makes it easy to trace them. It looks like we might get another fluke showing.
And a nice big beautiful fluke there. So let's go ahead and head down here.
How about that? Score 2 flukes. Next, we hunt for sea otters. They appear easy to find. The sea otter population was almost wiped out by Russian fur merchants. Today it is a protected species in Alaska. The otters hang out in groups. The young males playing, and the older ones resting.
They're cute, aren't they?
Oh, they're adorable. They just sit there with their feet up, like chilling, looking at you.
Oh, look at that.
One of them's looking right at us.
It's like they're playing. They're just like, oh, they're hitting.
They have harbor seals. Yeah, we'll hopefully see those guys. Sea lions are a little rare.
Hanging out on their back, to give you an idea of their size, the males here, they can weigh 70 pounds up to 100 pounds and be about 5 feet in length. To give you an idea, if you had a dog that size, that'd be considered a big dog. Look at their lighter faces. You can see some of them have lighter than others. Now the older you get, just like humans, the older these guys get, the whiter in the face they get. So you can kind of tell who the older ones are with their whiter faces.
And for a finale, we had a bald eagle sighting. We were then taken directly back to the Westerdam to end our hunt. Ketchikan. With an estimated population of 7,400, it's the fifth most populous city in Alaska. Ketchikan's economy is based upon tourism and fishing, and the city is known as the salmon capital of the world. We had breakfast in our room when we docked. A veranda looked down on Ketchikan, revealing a large number of jewelry stores and restaurants featuring fresh salmon. Mike, Jane, and Jacob rented a boat and explored the local bay by water. Susan, and Richard went ziplining through the forest. After leaving Ketchikan, we will then head for Victoria, British Columbia. This will take until Friday evening when we can go ashore there. As this probably will be the last evening meal for most people, the Baked Alaska dessert presentation was tonight. The all-Philippine dining crew dances and serenades us with a dessert presentation as they bring out the Baked Alaska. The Baked Alaska shown here is as it's presented at the Pinnacle Grill. Ours was served out of tubs. Friday was a day at sea. It was our last cruise day, so we had to pack our bags to put out that night, as we would be in Victoria, British Columbia in the evening. Victoria is only about 100 miles from Seattle, which makes it a convenient stop for Holland Americas. But as we will arrive at 6:30 Friday evening, it's not convenient to cruises. We took a bus through the city and then to the Bukit Botanical Gardens. A lovely flower display, although we had to walk in the dark and really could not appreciate the overall designs of the gardens. On the way back through the city, we stopped to photograph the Parliament building, all lit up, and other sights. We returned to the ship at about 11 p.m., grabbed some pizza for our dinner, and put out our bags to be collected. Our cruise to Alaska has to have been one of the most satisfying cruises we have taken. Seeing glaciers, whales, eagles in a totally wild environment is a first for us, and one we appreciate very much.